Agent Samson hung up on me.
Your call is being answered by Onyx.
Wayne Samson
Is not available. To leave a message, wait for the tone. When finished recording, press
hung
pound
up
for
on me.
more options. Otherwise, for assistance, press 0 now. Record at the tone.
Agent Samson, you hung up on me, and I left you another long voice message. As promised, I'm going to fill up your voicemail, and this is not considered harassment because I'm reporting a crime that you are ignoring, that it's ongoing. You are failing me. I'm still being tortured and terrorized every day I wake up, and they are saying the most horrendous things that a human being could ever say to another person. When I fall asleep, it's usually in a fetal position, cupping my crotch or my hand between my thighs, and getting zapped all over my body in pain and discomfort. You do not follow through on your commitments to me. You are required to keep my safety and well-being as the number one top priority. You didn't explicitly promise that, but that is something that you're supposed to do. You were supposed to interview multiple suspects over a month and a half ago. Two of them confessed, and it would take less than an hour of your time to get their confessions, which is also very important because I need them on record confessing to releasing my medical information illegally, which is a HIPAA violation of the most egregious kind, and would wind them up in prison just for that. You were supposed to find me a voice-to-skull recorder. You did not do that. You were supposed to respond to a request for help if I was about to lose my shit, perhaps by calling in help from the FBI agents in McAllen, and possibly by coming down here yourself. You were supposed to get me in contact with Travis County Sheriff's Department, since Sheriff Sally Hernandez can't be bothered to look into why her people ignored the fact that multiple victims and witnesses already provided individual supporting statements in writing and in person with the Travis County Sheriff Sergeant, who did nothing. You are going to be remembered as someone that allowed me to be pushed closer and closer past what a human being's limit is, past the point where someone might hurt themselves or hurt someone else. I refuse to do that. Do not take that as a threat of suicide at all. I refuse to do that. And that is inexcusable, and it's unconscionable that you would take advantage of that fact and take your sweet ass fucking time investigating acts of terrorism, acts of torture, both in a physical and sexual nature. Once again, you are failing me. This is the most important thing that you will be a part of in your entire life. This is a terrorism of a type that affects every single person in this country, possibly the world. This affects more people and has affected more people, I believe, than 9/11. There's so many ways that you can find these people within a 24-hour period. I demand rescue today. I demand you call me back today with a solution where I am rescued today. Not tomorrow, well, you're not going to be there tomorrow, and you're probably not going to return this phone call. It's going to be the biggest mistake of your entire life, and that's not a threat. That's just a fact. That's going to be the biggest regret that you will ever have, the fact that you did not respond to this appropriately. You are not responding to this appropriately. I did not suddenly develop sporadic contemporary bouts of schizophrenia, psychoses, that my camera picks up as well, so that must be suffering from psychoses as well. Multiple personality disorder, now known as dissociative identity disorder, which most psychiatrists don't believe is real. I did not develop sporadic contemporary bouts of these at age 41 with no prior mental health history. That is impossible, and it doesn't happen. I also did not suddenly develop at the age of 41 sporadic contemporary bouts of epilepsy, fibromyalgia, migraines, restless leg syndrome, neuropathy, arthritis, fever and nausea, vertigo, sudden numbness, tinnitus, false urges to pee, false oozing sensations of the penis, blue balls, glaucoma test sensations in the eye, which reacts in the same way, hot flashes on a random body part, sudden dry mouth and burning sensations on my tongue and the roof of my mouth or the back of my throat, hemorrhoids that spontaneously develop within seconds while lying in bed typing up descriptions for these YouTube videos that my dad and you and others don't watch and probably don't even read in the emails. I also did not suddenly develop supernatural powers to foretell the future, have sight beyond sight, plus also experience other unexplained phenomena like poltergeists, like where I'm being pushed around the house all the fucking time, where they try to knock me over when I'm bending over, when they knock glasses off tables. You would have to believe all of that. Plus, you would have to ignore that multiple victims and witnesses already provided individual supporting statements in writing and in person with the Travis County Sheriff Sergeant, who did nothing. You would also have to believe all of that, plus ignore the fact that 2 suspects confessed. And it's very important to get their motive. Somebody put them up to that. You would also have to believe all that, plus ignore that 1 suspect is a former APD officer, Mark McLeod, badge number 7091, who was in Special Weapons and Tactical. Again, you are failing me. Voice of Skull is real. It's used by magicians and mentalists when they subliminally broadcast numbers to a participant who thinks that they're guessing numbers to be used in the trick. It is real. You can click on the link in the Wired article where they captured the Voice of Skull webpage on the Army website. This is going to be the biggest mistake of your entire life, the fact that you are ignoring this. And the fact that you picked up the phone and hung it up, the fact that I got that 550 error message, that is further demoralizing, that is further adding to a sense of hopelessness, that is further adding to a sense of paranoia that I'm trying not to allow myself to be caught up in, which they do all the time anyway. That is further adding to the sense of the fact that I am now more in the, I didn't believe at all that you were complicit with them, but now I'm not so sure about that. Why would you ever align yourself to someone that has a lose-lose strategy that ends in a lose-lose for everyone? You lose, they lose, everybody loses. That is the stupidest thing to do in the entire world. It's also immoral. You are required by every single moral, ethical, legal code in the entire universe, even Ferengi, to immediately rescue me. Period. You are not allowed to not do that. You are not allowed to ignore this. You're not allowed to do something on the backside that you're not telling me, whether it's good or bad, and delay this any further. You are not allowed to allow acts of terrorism and torture to continue. That is inexcusable, it is unconscionable, it's unforgivable, and you will be known for that forever, as long as our historical archives last. Because this story is coming out. Whether or not you're fighting against it, well, you are fighting against it either way. Why would you want to be known as one of the people that pushed against this? Why? Why would you want to be known for someone that allowed this to continue longer? That is the stupidest thing in the world. You're a fucking asshole, dude. You better fucking rescue me today.